So last weekend, Joe and I, we had the weekend to ourselves. We were supposed to go out on the Saturday with other members of the family, but that didn't quite come off. So I then booked a show that I'd fancied, but held off booking on the Saturday night in the vast metropolis of Bathgate. So by way of an intro, what we did was on the Saturday, we went for a bite to eat at tea time, then went to the show. Then on the Sunday, lovely day, we went for a run down the coast. Joe loves the seaside, the coast of Edinburgh, down the Gulf Coast, I think they call it, and went for a nice bite to eat there, followed by a bit of football. So a little bit more. So this is the Indian restaurant we went to in Bathgate. It was called The Heritage. And the staff were very friendly, and the food was excellent, and I'd recommend it to anybody. Next we went to a David Bowie tribute band called Spiders on Mars, and at the Regal Showcase in Bathgate. However, I would not recommend that anybody goes to see that show. The musicians were very good. The music was very good, but it was just a bit strange. They kept us waiting from 7:30 till about 8:10 before they came on. They'd already done a sound check, so I think they thought that they were the real David Bowie. But they were good, and a couple of surreal things happened. It was like, oh, I don't know. They had a couple of groupies who must have been about 80 years old dancing down the front as if this was the most important moment in their whole life. God help them. And other people were dancing as well. Oh, but listen, I apologise to anybody in advance for saying this, but there was a guy who came onto the dance floor to dance, and honestly, I thought he'd got away from his carer. He was about, I don't know what age he was, 70, 80. He had no expression on his face, little guy, specs, never moved his arms, and he just shuffled along the stage. And I thought, the guy's going to the toilet, he's escaped his handler, what's going on here? And then what? He actually turned and went back again. This was him dancing. And then every 10 seconds or so he'd do a little, that was him bopping. And I'm thinking, I'd hate to be a band member and this is my groupies. This guy and these two ladies. And it was just terrible. And there was 4 ladies sitting on my right hand side and they were ending themselves. And I was ending myself. Joe on the other side's giving me the old big, don't do that, that's very rude. The man's not right. And I'm going, no, I don't think he is right. But honestly, couldn't help myself. So, oh dear. Yeah. And then at half time, we waited, and after about 25 minutes, after the interval, they still didn't come back on, so we thought, oh, fuck this, we're going home. So we did that, and that was the end of it. So this is Signals Bistro in North Berwick, and it's very nice, and we went in there for late lunch after going for a very nice ride down the Edinburgh East Coast, which I think they call it the Gulf Coast. So I would recommend this place to anybody. Service was nice, food was very nice actually, and moderately priced. And then after all that, came home on the Sunday night, and I went to play five-side football with Blair, number 2 son, and yeah, just had a good old game of football. The only thing of note that happened, 2 things actually. One was that when Blair's in goals, he was happy to be on my side, I tend to hang back a little bit and try to defend my son from all those nasty thugs who want to fire a football in to his goals and try to score a goal. So case in point was some guy tried to blast the ball. I was standing right in front of it, stuck my foot out just to try to actually deflect it. It hit my the tip of my football boot, and I did deflect it. But hey ho, guess what happened on the back of that? Just a ball hitting my boot. I absolutely snapped my big toenail. Big toenails are big toes, you know, they're big nails and they don't snap easily. And this thing just broke, didn't know it at the time. So that is the hit that I took for my son. But see, when I told him that, Do you think he went, "Oh, Dad, love you, thank you for that so much"? He just went into fits of giggles, and I thought, yeah, fuck you, you know. So anyway, father-son relationship, all good, all good. Oh, and the other thing that happened is we have this guy in the game, right? He's not very good, right? He's really not very good, right? However, he plays. He turns up on time, which is a hell of a lot better than I do. So I really should not criticise. However, he's really not very good. Anyway, I had the walk of shame because he wasn't on my side. He was in the opposing team, and I must have got lackadaisical. Because this guy, who should remain nameless really, but let's call him Gary, because that's his name. Anyway, he got the ball off me. And I just stood there and I went, "Oh no! The ball has been robbed off me by Gary. I have to kill myself now." And he just took the ball off me, and I just thought, what happened? Did I die? You know? So anyway, apologies Gary, you turn up on time. I really shouldn't say anything, you know, we're all other moments, but yeah, I did the walk of shame. And yeah, that brought the weekend to a close.